Hello, my friends. I'm going to be talking today about be scrappy. There's so much frustration right now with, the opening of the country and not knowing, and businesses being different and things being different. So I'm going to encourage you to be scrappy. One of the ways is I'm going to talk about this saying, and I'll be saying it throughout this talk. I believe in my ability to figure things out. I was talking the other day with a business person, and that person was so afraid and lost, held back by, quite honestly, it seemed kind of like the thing that can catch a lot of us, and that is saying, I'm so busy. I am so busy that I don't have time to hire the person that can expand my time. I don't have time to hire the person that can do the things I can't do. I don't have time. I'm just so anxious. I'm so overwhelmed. So much compassion as I was listening to this person, living very limited, living entrenched in their idea of not knowing what to do, not trusting themselves enough to either find the answer in themselves or go beyond themselves and ask for answers from someone who has completely different superpowers than they have. I'm going to encourage you to step out of living limited, to be scrappy, to believe in your ability to figure things out, to walk outside, so to speak, or literally, and stretch your body, stretch your mind, and stretch your soul, and release that limited living and those ideas of limitation. So many times we are telling ourselves things that build limitation, like, I can't do this. It's too hard. I don't know how to do this. Things like that. While it might be true that you don't know how to do something, it isn't true that you can't do it. So let's take time to talk about the lessons that we've learned the last couple of years and the lessons of living limited, and then ways that we want to change that, adapt the things that we did long ago, and let's do a fresh reboot like we do on our computers when they're kind of stuck. Take time to move beyond the frustration and the pain. Be compassionate with yourself in your heart and your mind, and see where you can step up and be scrappy. Remember, I believe in my ability to figure things out. For those who lean lovingly into a spiritual walk, let's take a lesson from the Bible, from Proverbs, and realize that wisdom is calling out to us from everywhere, like shouting at us and raining upon us. I love the image of wisdom raining upon us. Some of us are like living with that rain of wisdom, but we're holding an umbrella because we're having a hard time accepting the answers that wisdom is sharing with us. So let's be considerate of ourselves. Yeah, I mean that. Let's trust ourselves. Let's be compassionate and kind with ourselves. Let's realize that we can do the things that we need to do. But I am going to tell you a couple stories to illustrate where we can be stuck. So imagine a library full of books, full of knowledge and wisdom, but no one's there. No one's taking action to read it and then do it. And very sad, another idea is a construction site full of tools and materials and the blueprints all laying out, being weathered. I have a physical image of this, example of this, from the man who lives not too far from me. He buys loads of supplies. He has tons of plans. When you chat with him, he has so many ideas, so much. He has a lot of knowledge, but he also has a lot of spaces where he could really honestly use some help. Most recently, he decided to build a retaining wall. He's got the idea come up with, he bought the supplies, he bought bags and bags of concrete because he doesn't want to hire anyone to help him because he's, let's just say he stepped on some toes because it has a hard time with listening to wisdom. He's got that umbrella up that I mentioned. Then he has literally bags and bags of concrete, like taller than me, many piles of concrete that were delivered because he's got this plan, right? He's got this great idea, and he was making some steps forward on that. That part's great. But then last summer, he didn't use those. He didn't do it. He didn't step forward. He wasn't scrappy. He instead decided to live in his comfort zone and let himself be distracted, let himself be averted towards the things in his comfort zone. So he worked on some other projects, and he kind of puttered around and bought a car and drove it all over the place. Now that protective paper that's all over those concrete bags is splitting. Now the ones on the top are completely solid, and some of the piles have literally fallen over. They've been there since last fall. He has the wisdom that he could be using to move forward, to hire someone to help him, and he has spent his time in his comfort zone. He's diverted away from the really important things. And now he's wasted not only that money, but he's also caused some issues with relationships. Imagine it. Imagining being his wife in this particular situation. He spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on all of that material, and now it's literally rotting. So yeah, you can imagine the frustration that are multiplying as he makes excuses for not doing that and for the deterioration. You can also imagine what it's like living near him and all of that mess. First, it was a great project, and then now it's a mess. So let's not let that happen to us. Let's move forward. Let's take action, and let's be scrappy. And let me tell you, I'm on my sixth try of this recording, probably more than that, because I had to learn some new technology and I didn't know how to do it. So I decided to just experiment and do it and do this recording. And this isn't about me. This is about encouraging you to believe in yourself, to figure things out. And if you don't know, then find someone who does. So be kind to yourself. Give yourself some slack. There's so many new things out there and so many things that are not natural to you, that are definitely outside your comfort zone. But I'm going to tell you that outside your comfort zone is the really great place to be. Sure, it doesn't feel great probably all the time, but it is great because that's where big things happen. Sometimes we just need to figure it out and then let yourself fumble through it. Walk through the steps, ask for help. When you get overwhelmed or feel yourself, hear yourself like making excuses or negative self-talk or just like so much jumble, take a walk. Rest your brain, rest your nerves, 15 minutes, grab a glass of water, be outside and watch for the things that have changed outside. Nature has such a great ways to teach us. There's so much change and they never worry about it. The flowers aren't worried. They just keep blooming. The trees don't worry. They just keep dropping their leaves in the fall and getting fresh leaves in the spring. Even when the wind comes in the winter and breaks off a branch, that tree still keeps going. Listen to your inner talk. Is it saying, I can't do this? It's too hard? That's a tough thing, and it really gets you into a dark space. Remember, you always land on your feet. You always figure things out or know someone who has figured it out. Or if you don't know someone who's figured it out, they might know somebody, your friends might know somebody who's figured it out. And they'd be glad to help you. Yes, pay them. They deserved it. They've worked hard for their knowledge and for their expertise. Be scrappy. You're not too old. You're not too young. You're not anything. Show up, be scrappy, and get going. So I hope this helps, my friends, and have a wonderful day.